Hello, you're welcome to another episode of Diplomatic Affairs. My name is Harriet Nate, coming to you from the premises of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. 9 envoys have presented their credentials. Before going to the presidency, they met with the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. And so we have put together the presentation of credentials, their meeting, and all that they talked about, and we will be sharing that with you. Diplomatic Affairs is in association with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. I will take a break. When I come back, there is so much that I can't wait to share with you. Please do stick and stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Diplomatic Affairs with me, Harriet Nate. As I indicated early on, 9 envoys have been accredited by their respective countries to take posts in Ghana to spearhead the diplomatic relations between their countries and ours. These envoys presented open letters to the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Her Excellency Shelley Ayoko-Botwe, and also used the occasion to discuss diplomatic relations between their countries and ours. Let me usher you in there so you can catch up with all that went on when they met with the Honorable Minister.
The warm relations that have existed even before your independence, the struggle for liberation and support, and over the years, the closeness of the two countries. We are geographically quite far apart, but I believe that in terms of what we stand for, close together on a number of areas. I think the potential for our two countries to benefit from this friendship is something that cannot and should not be overlooked, and we should all work towards it to make it a reality.
I have been instructed by our to ensure that Ghana becomes not just a neighboring country, although we're distant apart, but a brotherly country, because he had a great visit here and he wants us to be brothers, economically, politically, and culturally. So I have this great task of bringing together the peoples of Angola and Ghana in the fraternal love we Africans do have. So I'm here and I hope I do my best.
The European Union and Ghana have always been strong, very positive, and we have cherished the relationship over the decades. We are also very happy that we've been able to work on the EPA. That for us is also very important for our products to have access to your markets, and also your products to have access to this market. We're hoping that very soon we'll have the ECOWAS one. For us it's very important also to have the ECOWAS EPA negotiated and in operation. There's a lot that you need to do in all the areas that you're involved in, especially the area of economic development and all of that. But we're hoping that you'll be able to continue with the political discussions that we have from time to time.
As you know, our intention is to deepen further our already good and excellent relations between you and Ghana. And my personal task and ambition is to deepen and build on the excellent visit of His Excellency President Nana Addo in Brussels. I think we have a roadmap with all the discussion that he held with our President and that you had with several members of what we call the Collège, the commissioners. across the board when it comes to political relations, when it comes to technical topics, when it comes to economic, the Green Deal. And I want as well to add regional security, because these are issues of common interest. If I may just conclude my remarks in saying that these are shared interests, but beyond that we have the belief that we have a shared future and a shared destiny as well. Madam Minister, thank you very much.
Ghana and Hungary have developed very strong relations over the years. And in the last 4 or so years, there's been quite a movement of high-level visits, and I'm very happy that this is happening, because that's when you can foster a lot of the good programs and projects. Hungary is very important to us. We are members of the non-aligned movement and other multilateral organizations, and I hope that we'll continue to work in that spirit. But on the bilateral level also, we are very, very interested in having closer ties with Hungary.
Part of this policy is opening to the South policy. We opened our mission in Ghana first in order to build ties, but we also have other programs. First, for instance, the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship program, which is proving to be quite a success. I understand that it's very popular among Ghanaian students who are happy to continue their academic studies in Hungary. We currently have about 100 places, and it's oversubscribed many times, so I understand it's very popular. We also have a very promising volunteer program for there's a government-sponsored program called Hungary Helps, and we are actually in the past 2 years we have donated some $500,000 worth of aid to schools and hospitals in the countryside. So we hope to carry on with this project and help Ghana in any way we can. So I'm very happy to be here, and I look forward to cooperating with the Honourable Minister in every field.
It's a big thing for us, and because we believe that we can only develop this country if we concentrate on trade and investment, that foreign direct investment is something that we all work towards because we have all the indicators that attract a lot of investment in West Africa. I believe we are the highest in terms of FDI attraction into this country, a very enabling environment, and economically, and the rule of law works here. Our democratic credentials are very want to be very proud of, and so we believe that we have the environment. It is for that reason that the African Union members allowed Ghana to be chosen as the center, the trade center of Africa. And I say that with regards to the AFCFTA Secretariat. So, Madam Ambassador, there's a lot that's happening in Ghana, and I hope that your business, your private sector will take advantage and come and invest.
The relationship between Norway and Ghana is an excellent one, and I can assure you, Honourable Minister, that during my tenure I will do my very best to strengthen those and build upon those already existing excellent relations. We are talking about being partners both multilaterally and bilaterally, and I am sure that we will cooperate on these issues closely and build further on our friendship.
To a number of thematic areas. Let's start with peace and security, which always has been a very important element of our foreign policy, and which is also a very important element of Ghana's foreign policy. So we very much look forward to collaborating on peace and security and intensifying the relations we have, especially to combat violent extremism, which is unfortunately rising in the region and also in other areas of the world. So we see this as a very serious threat to our common interests. So we look forward to working together on combating that. The second area of interest would be trade and investment. Ghana and the Netherlands have been partners for economic development for a very, very long time. And I look forward to strengthening and increasing that relationship, especially looking at the importance of cocoa for Ghana agriculture, but also Ghana industrialization, agro-food processing. And since the Netherlands is the first cocoa importer from Ghana, we are very much keen on intensifying relations and improving the sector, because the sector is facing some challenges, and we would like to work together to combat those challenges. Peace and security, trade, those have been always very important elements of our relationship. Of course, consular cooperation is an important area where we seek to work together to facilitate migration, regular migration between our two countries, and to facilitate visits, business or tourist visits over and also from the Netherlands to Ghana and from Ghana to the Netherlands.
Community of 15 countries. However, about 4 of the countries in ECOWAS are plagued with security issues to do with terrorism, armed conflict, violent extremism. And as a result, it's become an area of focus for us, a priority for us to stamp it out, because otherwise it spreads. If it does, then countries such as ours, we border Burkina Faso, and so we do not take these issues lightly at all. So I'm happy to note that you're working with the Ministry of Defense on a status of forces agreement. The other areas that you have talked about are the areas of trade and investment, extremely important for us. Ghana is moving towards a Ghana beyond aid, a self-sufficient Ghana, where the focus for us really should be trade and investment. How do we enhance partnerships with our friends? Enhancing partnerships in the area of trade and investment, because the president believes, and we all believe, that no country can develop with aid. The best way to develop for any country is through trade and investment. So we have changed our focus in our dealings with our partners and friends to emphasize trade, investment, and we're hoping that during your time we will see an increase in private sector involvement from your country, partnering our private sector to invest in Ghana, to add value to our raw materials rather than cut them out. Rather than cut out cocoa beans in its raw form, we want to add value, whether to cocoa paste or butter. We need to add value, or even throughout the whole chain to the finished product, because it is not right that we produce cocoa between us and Côte d'Ivoire. Over 60% of the world cocoa is produced by the two countries, and yet we do not earn even what we earn from that industry is very little compared to what the countries that receive our raw materials earn. And I think it's something that the president is very much keen, and not just him, he and his counterpart, President Ouattara, are very keen on making sure that the cocoa farmers get a living wage. They get what is due them from that industry.
Ghana is a very important market for Spain in Africa. In 2019, you were the third export destination of Spanish companies, and many Spanish companies are investing in your country. That shows their confidence in the economy of this country. It's a vibrant economy, and we want to work closely with you in this area. I would personally like to promote more exchanges between both our peoples. We have a strong community of Ghanaians in Spain. We also have a vibrant community of Spaniards in Ghana. And through culture, academic exchanges, and even sports diplomacy, we want to be able to foster those ties and to have more exchanges.
I am extremely satisfied with where we are so far in terms of the relations, and I'm hoping that we can even improve further. In the other areas, and the areas of agro-industries, I think that's one area too that we'd like to have a lot of cooperation on. Renewable energy already, you have companies here, construction, the health sector. I think these are all areas that we hope to see even more or even further investment in. You know that Ghana is moving towards a Ghana beyond aid, a Ghana that is self-reliant, a Ghana that is putting a lot of emphasis on value addition to its raw materials rather than exports of raw materials outside the country. So we want to see a lot of Spanish companies coming in to invest and using Ghana as that stepping stone into the rest of West Africa and Africa. And with Africa, because we host the African Continental Free Trade Secretariat, we're hoping that during your time here, you would be able to bringing a lot of investment. The establishment of the UK-Ghana Business Council, we signed in 2019, I believe, the strategic partnership between Ghana and the UK, and not too long ago we signed the interim trade agreement as well. So a lot is happening, a lot has happened, and a lot is happening. We need to build on what has been done. I also cannot meet you and not mention the very important work done by DFID, alleviating poverty, helping us with domestic resource mobilization, strengthening public financial management systems. DFID has been involved in all these. The support for industrialization and our economic development, which all works towards the President's vision of a Ghana beyond aid, a Ghana that is self-reliant, a Ghana that is industrialized, where we see that the cutting out of our raw materials is no longer happening, but rather we're adding value to these raw materials before they are exported out. Of course, you know that we have a very young population, and therefore there is the pressure to provide jobs. So industrialization is the key. The Ghana Beyond Aid is the key to be able to provide for our young ones.
You would have noticed me nodding my head throughout everything you were saying, because I wholeheartedly agree with all of it. I'm proud and humble to be here representing Ghana, because Ghana is such an important partner for us, and the stream of high-profile VIP visitors that have come through, as you say, even in the last 6 months, I think is an indication of that. I also want to thank you for giving for me to attend an event on Saturday, the Ghana Football Awards. What I was doing there, I think, is another indication of the depth of our relationship. An award, the life of Arthur Wharton and all that he achieved, one of the very early Ghanaian diaspora in the UK. And that's something that I'm hoping to build on while I'm here, is the people strength between our countries that can support both in all of the areas of shared priorities, from security through prosperity, the involvement of our private sector alongside our overseas aid offer, which I think is what Ghana needs from us at the moment. We're moving, as you say, and as is encapsulated by the President's Beyond Aid agenda, we're moving way beyond that donor-recipient relationship of old, and it is genuinely a relationship of partners. I'd like to congratulate Ghana on its election to the UN Security Council. This is a copy of the letter that our Foreign Secretary has sent. The original is with the High Commission, your High Commission in London. But as Ghana takes its seat on the Security Council with your chairmanship of ECOWAS, with the headquarters of the AFCFTA, Ghana is a key player on the world stage. And I'm very much looking forward to, first of all, hearing what your priorities are, and then to understanding better how we can work together in order to deliver on those priorities, because so many of them are shared. Our relationship to this point has been warm and cordial under Ian, and I have every intention of continuing the commitment that he showed to his position. I'm delighted to say that we have recently approved new funding to respond to some of Ghana's requests on the security front. We are putting more money into the Sahel, and we are also going to be able to support Ghana's preparedness for crisis, so your crisis response efforts. And we in fact have a Rear Admiral from our Navy visiting this week to attend the Maritime Security Exhibition and Conference, and we'll be exploring further through that what we can do to work together in the Gulf of Guinea, which, as you say, is so important from the blue economy perspective, but also from the trade and prosperity perspective, one of the least secure stretches of water in the world, but so important if Ghana is to become, as we would like to see, the gateway to Africa in terms of trade, as the AFCFTA is implemented across the continent.
Right, so those were the envoys who have been assigned to take up diplomatic assignments in Ghana. We will take you to the presidency, but before I do that, I will take a break. When we come back, I'll take you to all that took place at the Jubilee House. Welcome back. You're still watching Diplomatic Affairs. The envoys proceeded to the Jubilee House, where they met with the President, His Excellency Nana Addo, to present their credentials before they can assume the assignments in the country. First, to present her letter of credence or credentials was the British High Commissioner to Ghana, and she is the first female UK High Commissioner to Ghana, and they discussed bilateral relations between Ghana and the United Kingdom.
It's a huge honour for me to have been entrusted with this position, and I intend to honour that trust that's been placed in me by working tirelessly to strengthen still further an already strong relationship between our two countries. We live in turbulent times with the pandemic, the urgency of climate change and the political change that has happened across the world. But throughout that turbulence, Ghana has held strong to its values of tolerance, inclusion and diversity. And I note that our relationship has withheld even stronger challenges. Our countrymen and women have fought together in 2 world wars, and Ghana was the first country in 1957 to join the Commonwealth. Since then, we've worked together to further our shared values and to uphold the security and stability in this region. I look forward to building the relationship of the future, building on those strengths of the past, a relationship that's built on the values of tolerance and inclusion, a relationship that recognises Ghana's ambition to move beyond aid, and that shifts in its position as we support that ambition, shifting the development that we provide from the provision of basic services to strengthening the partnerships that will enable Ghana to provide its own basic services, from the provision of aid to investment and building on the trade links that are already strong between our countries. I must end by mentioning, of course, our diaspora, which is one of the strengths in our relationship and one of the reasons that I'm so pleased to be occupying this position. The cultural ties, the political ties, the people-to-people and economic ties that community brings to both of our countries is something that I'm sure we both treasure, and it's one of the aspects of this position that fills me with optimism as I look to the future. Your Excellency, thank you so much for accepting my nomination to this position. I'm very much looking forward to working with you to further our two countries' shared interests through a relationship of partnership of equals.
I think that the time has now come for us to reset this very strong relationship. Now that you have left the European Union, we have agreed on the economic partnership arrangement, which now provides us a very strong basis to continue to engage at the economic level. And as you say, our interest now is to stimulate as much British investment in Ghana as possible. We believe that is a better way to maintain the strong relations between our two countries. And I have no doubt that you're going to help facilitate that intercourse here in Ghana.
Now, next on the lineup to have presented his letter of credence or credentials to the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, was the Nigerian High Commissioner to Ghana.
Excellency, the success stories are much, and I want to, as a Nigerian who is a brother to Ghana, state that we share a common heritage of good friendship and continue to foster the same relationship. It is believed that as brotherly nations, Excellency, that we will continue to strive to ensure that the cultural, the political, and the economic ties that exist between our two nations are consolidated upon. Let me once again, Your Excellency, also use this opportunity to reiterate that as the leading nations in the West African sub-region, Ghana and Nigeria have a lot in common. We share the same security challenges, especially in the Gulf of Guinea, where we have the incidences of piracy, maritime crimes, illegal and illicit trafficking in arms, small arms and weapons, and also human trafficking, and cybercrime of recent, and terrorism. I want to assure you, Your Excellency, that the efforts that have already been in place through bilateral and multilateral processes will be continued through the collaborative effort of the mission and the appropriate agencies back home. Your Excellency, I want to once also mention that His Excellency, Mr. President, back home, emphasizes on the cardinal objectives of his government, which of course are to ensure that it tackles security, improves on security, revitalizes the economy, as well as provides processes for good governance for our nations. This is in line with what you're doing here, Your Excellency, and it is believed that with the two nations working together, that we can harness the limitless opportunities that exist between our nations for growing the economies and the prosperity of our people. Your Excellency, I want to assure you that while I'm here, I will endeavor to do the appropriate things that will enable our countries to grow so that we can move our countries to the next level.
The relations between our two countries form for us some of the most important relations that we have with the countries of the world. And we see ourselves in Nigeria as bound by a long-standing relationship of cooperation and brotherliness. And today in the West African region, we stand as the strong democracies in our region and who are standing side by side in the fight against terrorism and unconstitutional changes of government in our area. We've been working very well together, and I have no doubt that you coming here, such a high official of the Nigerian state, a very senior citizen, former Navy commander, that you have been here to cement the strong relations that there are between our two countries. There are temporary issues that there always will be with the traders, etc. But I have no doubt that with goodwill on both of our sides, we will find a lasting solution to those problems. I'm hoping and expecting that your tenure here is going to elevate the relations between our two countries to an even higher level than it has been already. It's already high, but I believe that having a man of your stature as Nigerian High Commissioner here will enable us to take our relationship to an even higher level.
Ambassador Daniel Kroll is in the country to spearhead diplomatic activities between Germany and Ghana. The president congratulated him for his appointment as the head of mission for the German government in Ghana, and also discussed the high-level visits between the two countries and his recent trip to Germany that saw the signing of an agreement to deepen the ties of cooperation between Ghana and North Rhine-Westphalia in 7 areas of cooperation.
The relations between Germany and Ghana are amazingly widespread. We have intensive economic relations. I know that the trade figures, despite the COVID pandemic, are still stable, so that's very encouraging. We have a broad exchange of academics and intellectuals in the scientific field, in the environmental, and last but not least, we also have a broad agenda of development cooperation. And so this is a proof of Germany's great interest in good relations with your country, with your government, with your people. But I think there's the great saying is the largest room is the room for improvement. So even though we are already cooperating very intensively, we hope at least that there's more to come. And I hope your visit in Germany also was one step further in intensifying, in particular, the economic relations. So we hope that there will be more foreign direct investment coming. Me and my team, we stand ready to support whenever necessary and helpful to work on any framework condition that might be useful to increase further direct foreign investment in Germany. We also hope that we can further intensify the academic exchange, and we just have some interesting projects in the field of fighting the COVID pandemic, and we are happy to inform that we are in the stage of finalizing the logistics of delivering 1.5 million vaccines from Germany, from AstraZeneca. So this again, we hope that we can show our commitment to our relations.
Germany is one of the most important countries in Europe and therefore of the world. And it is a country with which we enjoy, as you yourself just said, excellent relations. Especially since I became president, those relations have been, in my view, even further heightened and enhanced. Your great chancellor, the one for whom I have the greatest admiration, has even visited us here at the very first day of my presidency. I myself have visited Germany at least on two, if not three occasions. The last time I was very, very honored. I was a guest of honor at the anniversary, the 75th anniversary of the founding of Northwest Westphalia, North Rhine-Westphalia, and had the opportunity to meet again Prime Minister Laschet, and was also in Germany for the meeting, apparently the last meeting which had happened with the Chancellor with the Compact with Africa. The Compact with Africa has been an initiative that has been very strongly steered by her, and it is one that is bringing strong benefit to us in terms of opening up the space for private investment in our country. Important German companies, Siemens and others, have taken advantage of the Compact and are doing important infrastructural developments here with us in Ghana. So it's an initiative that is bearing fruit for us. I believe it is also bearing fruit for you. And we want to see this color of relationship develop in this way, investment relations between our two countries. Germany is a model for many, many, many nations, including Ghana, of how to develop a country on the basis of democratic institutions and yet still have the discipline that enables you to develop a society of prosperity and of wealth. And we are a big admirer of this German model of development that is taking place. So we're looking forward to solidifying those relations. We hope that your tenure here will provide us the opportunity to escalate the relations between our two countries.
Right, so after Germany was the ambassador of Spain to Ghana, Jose Javier Gutierrez Blanco Navarrete, and he also was welcomed into the country by the President, His Excellency Nana Addo, and they discussed bilateral relations, the long-standing and cordial relations that exist between Ghana and Spain.
Ghana, Your Excellency, is a priority country for Spain, as you may have witnessed during your recent visit to my country. We want to strengthen our relations, our partnership with Ghana, and to extend it into new areas, for instance, in the field of tourism. Ghana is a strategic country for Spain in Africa, particularly in West Africa. We share the same values as you: democracy, respect for human rights, and face the same challenges, for instance, terrorism, and the need to promote development. We want to work closely with you to address these challenges. We commend your leadership to promote integration, stability, and development in Africa. We want to work closely for the success of the ACTA, also to cooperate closely with ECOWAS. I would like to highlight the excellent cooperation between our two countries in the field of security. We have an active cooperation that we want to reinforce to fight against terrorism, against drugs and human trafficking, and other security challenges that both our countries are facing. I have, Your Excellency, the pleasure to inform you that Spain has ratified the economic partnership agreement between the European Union and Ghana. And you can rest assured that in Spain you will always find an ally, a friend, to improve your relations, your ties with the European Union. We want to close closely with Ghana also to address global challenges such as climate change, COVID-19, and to work for the reform and the strengthening of the global health system. For us, immunization against COVID must be a global public good, and in this sense, we commit ourselves to keep working for immunization to arrive on a stronger manner in Africa, in Ghana, through mechanisms such as COVAX or through joint actions by the European Union that Spain has been supporting all this time. During my tenure, the strengthening of economic and trade relations between our two countries will be a priority. You are one of our main export destinations in sub-Saharan Africa. 2019, you were the third market for Spanish companies. There are more and more Spanish companies that have chosen to settle down in Ghana because they have trust in your country, in your potential, and in the economic measures that your government under your leadership has taken. We also want to promote financial cooperation between our two countries. In the context of the debt relief program, we have funded projects in the field of water that you had the opportunity to inaugurate in the Volta region. We have also executed projects in the field of infrastructure, and this is an area where we want to work closely with your government and your people. Finally, a top priority for me would be to increase the contacts, the exchanges between both our peoples and our respective civil societies. To do so, cultural diplomacy, academic exchanges, scholarships for Ghanaian citizens will be privileged tools, instruments that we intend to use, and we would also like to reinforce the teaching of Spanish in Ghana. Spanish is a language which is very helpful not only for Spain, but also is a door to Latin America, which is a region that we believe has also a lot of potential in your relations. Thank you so much, and I would be pleased to work closely with your authorities and the people of Ghana.
Merely to reiterate and re-echo many of the sentiments you've already expressed about the continuing bonds of solidarity that there are between us in many areas. We've talked about security, we've spoken about education. These are very important developments for us, and we want to boost and enhance our relations with Spain, especially in the area of economic cooperation. Spanish companies that are working here are doing a good job. Right? The people find it very easy to relate to them, and would like to have more Spanish companies coming here in Ghana to work and invest in our economy. So we have a lot of work, and I'm hoping that in your period as ambassador, we will see this greater growth of the intercourse between our two economies and our two peoples as well. So, welcome. I wish you the very best of luck in your tenure as ambassador, that you have a successful year.
The Kingdom of the Netherlands also has a new head of mission, and he is in the person of Ambassador Jeroen Verheul. Let's join the conversation.
Yes. The Netherlands and Ghana have long and historic relations. The mission we have is both political and economic. And in terms of economy, we have a very similar outlook to how we would like to see the future. Ghana Beyond Aid, founded on collaboration, economic collaboration based on private sector development, trade and investment. So we really look forward to expanding that relationship even further. Of course, globalization has put challenges to all of us, also to our economic relations. And it's up to us as countries to work together to overcome those challenges. And we really look forward to working together in the cocoa sector, because cocoa is a very important product for Ghana, but it's also a very important product for the Netherlands. So it has been a very important part of our trade relations. But we must ensure that it will also remain that way, because there are quite some challenges that the sector faces, and we would very happily work together to make sure that we can maintain those relations. Equally, in a political sense, we would like to collaborate and contain and maintain the collaboration, especially in terms of peace and security. The recent challenge we have in one of the neighboring countries is one example of that, but also the rising extremism in the region, in the world at large, is also a challenge that we all face, and we need international collaboration to work together. So, Mr. President, it's an honor and a pleasure, and I thank you for accepting the letters of credence, and I really look forward to a mutually beneficial working relationship.
We have very, very strong standing historic ties that bind countries. The relationship has gone through many different and today is very strongly founded on similarity of outlaw, political systems, the desire to cooperate in economic areas, and the cooperation that we're getting from so many areas of our national life is something that we attach a great deal of importance to. We want to grow those relations. And your time as ambassador, it will be that the relations between us will be even further heightened than they have been so far.
Ambassador Ingrid Molestad, she will be representing the Kingdom.
Over the past years, I believe that Norway and Ghana have developed a wonderful relationship and a friendship, and I bring the warmest regards from both King Harold and from our Prime Minister, Erna Solberg, whom I know you know personally. I think that your activities as advocates for this development goals, as well as members of the Ocean Panel, the high-level Ocean Panel, testifies and stresses the importance of our relationship. And I will, throughout my mission, do my best to improve, strengthen, and further develop our relationship.
It's excellent that you've come at this time. I think we have an opportunity to work together, to intensify the relations. In so many areas we're involved, and the Norwegian energy company Aker is about to play a very important role in our energy development here in Ghana. So there are plenty of reasons why we should find it convenient and necessary to cooperate as closely as possible. And I'm hoping that in your tenure here as ambassador, we're going to see the Ghana-Norway relationship go even further.
Joel Baptista Domingos Kiweza, he is going to ensure that the diplomatic relations between Angola and Ghana continues peacefully and create opportunities for the development of their countries. And so he has a very interesting story, though. Well, according to him, he was born here in Ghana before he moved with his parents to Angola. So later on, we will be having an interview with him to share all of that with you. But before that, let's take a look at what happened when he met with the president.
he also wants me to extend to you, sir, the warmest greetings from the people of Angola. He would like me to remind you and all of us of how great Ghana has been to Angola, and he wants to express the fact that now is the time, like he said in his last visit, to stop just talking but start doing the things that would unite us and make us great partners, economically, politically, and culturally as well. He take this opportunity to mention the fact that Ghana has supported Angola right from independence days, and to that fact I'm a proof of that because I was born here in Ghana when Angola was still a colony, and my father lectured here in Legon due to the warm fraternity Ghana had for all African nations at that time. So, sir, I am here at your service, at the service of the Angolan government and people, to unite both countries as much as possible.
It's good to have you back home, and we congratulate you, as I said, on your appointment. The relations between our two countries is getting stronger all the time, and the recent visit, my own, to Angola in August of 2019, was a very memorable occasion for me. I even had the honor of addressing your parliament, and his reciprocal visit here just a month or so ago, I think is a sign of the determination of our two peoples to grow closer and bond even stronger than we have in the past. The relationship, which, as you said quite rightly, founded on the common struggle against foreign control of our continent, now has seen us as free peoples, determination to work together to lift the conditions of life of our people and exploit these considerable resources that we have, you in Angola, we here in Ghana, for the benefit of our peoples. I think that in that exercise, the cooperation between us will be important, and I'm counting on you to assist in bringing the two countries together even stronger than they have been.
Well, Hungary also has a new head of mission who will be facilitating bilateral relations between Hungary and the Republic of Ghana. So he also met with the president to discuss bilateral relations between the two countries. And amongst the issues that came up were the support in the areas of water and sanitation, health, agriculture, and the food industry. Let's take a look at what happened in there.
I would like to take this opportunity to say that one the wastewater treatment plant was successfully completed and inaugurated earlier this year, and also with your gracious presence, the sword-cutting ceremonies for two other projects took place last year. I hope that during my tenure as an ambassador, many such success stories will take place. There are some very promising projects in the pipeline, especially in the fields of e-governance, agriculture, security printing, and health, to name but a few, and agriculture, to name but a few. These projects actually feed in very well with the Ghanaian government's plan to increase jobs, because I think that's very important that the projects that we bring to Ghana assist the labor market. We also have some very promising trilateral cooperations. Hungarian, Turkish, and Ghanaian companies are working together in opening and building 5 medical centers, oncological centers across the country. And once government approval is granted, which I hope will happen soon, construction can begin, and many people in the rural areas of the country can have access to state-of-the-art medical facilities. We also have a cooperation with Egypt. We are trying to identify some hospitals where Hungarian and Egyptian companies can join hands and renovate or build facilities. But Hungary is not here only to do business. We are also very active in people-to-people relations. And in the past few years, the embassy has organized many cultural programs to promote Hungary to the Ghanaian audience and people.
Even in recent times, the relations between our two countries is beginning to develop some real teeth. And that's how it should be. In education, in health, culture, in all these areas, we're beginning to see the imprint of Hungary on our lives here in Ghana. And it's a very positive imprint that we're getting. So it's good that you've arrived to try and promote an even stronger relationship between us. I'm looking forward very much to seeing President Nana here. This, I believe, is twice his visit to Ghana has been postponed, and I'm hoping that this third one in January will happen in the flesh, and then we'll have the opportunity to play host to him here. I think that it's a good moment to come to Ghana. We are making determined strides, both in the consolidation of our democratic institutions, as well as in the development of our national economy, and the sort of imprint already we're having from you, the assistance that, for instance, Hungarian financial institutions gave to a very important Ghanaian company in the sanitation sector, Just One Limited, something highly appreciated, which has led to the opening of these sanitation facilities that you already mentioned. I did them myself. I was present at the commissioning of the facilities, and there are things that are going to be very great use to us here in Ghana. So I think there's the opportunities there for us to do many things together. And I'm hoping sincerely that your period here is going to be witness and even further scaling up of the relations between our two countries.
Ambassador Ichad Razali, he will be continuing with the works of his predecessor, the former ambassador of the EU to Ghana, Diana Akonjia.
We thank you and congratulate you for the work you are conducting at the behest of the ECOWAS with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. As you know, the EU supports strongly ECOWAS work with Guinea-Conakry, of course, even today, with Mali, and moreover, with Ghana. The EU wants to reinforce the work in terms of regional security, regional stability, and we stand ready to work with you to reinforce, be it in the framework of the Accra initiative or when it comes to maritime security, what Ghana has in mind in order to limit the spillover of the regional instability. We'll be with you in that endeavor, whatever the appropriate channel would like for us to work with you in. When it comes to regional security as well, of course, we are ready to work on multi-country approach, putting forward Ghana's assets. And this brings me to the fact that we are embarking in a common destiny. Of course, COVID was eating every one of us. We want to commend you in the reaction against the pandemic. Of course, the EU has promptly responded to the pandemics. We have mobilized 3 billion euros when it comes to the COVAX facility, and I'm happy to serve in this country. Was the first ever to receive COVAX vaccines. When it comes to the vaccines, Mr. President, we are ready to welcome your experts soon in Brussels in order to explore the possibility to host a facility here, because I might be representing the EU, but don't forget my African background, and I believe Africa should be able to produce its own vaccines, and we stand ready with you in order to do that, sir.
There's so many areas of cooperation with the European Union that is providing great benefit to us in Ghana, in our education, in our agriculture, in our security arrangements, across a broad range of issues. We're finding the assistance and the cooperation of the European Union extremely helpful to us. One of the latest and perhaps one of the most significant developments is the effort we're making to establish our own capacity to produce vaccines here. When I was in Brussels recently, I had the opportunity to discuss this matter with the President of the European Investment Bank, who took a great interest in as a result of the discussions that have subsequently taken place. Professor Bob Boati, who's the chair of our committee here, and some of his colleagues, in fact, are on their way very soon to Brussels to deepen those discussions and see to what extent we can collaborate in doing that. It cannot be right, and I think that this pandemic has shown that a situation whereby the production facilities for this global good are situated in a few countries in the north of the planet cannot serve the interests of humanity. There has to be a dispersal of these facilities across the globe for us to be able to handle better future pandemics. I'm told that we are in the era, our generation will be the era of pandemics. So it is as well that we prepare ourselves better for future pandemics than we did for the current one. But we already anticipate very solid cooperation from the European Union on that. As I said, we are cooperating with you in many areas. The sustainability of our cocoa industry, the sustainability of our marine resources. These are all very sensitive and very nodal sectors of our economy, and we appreciate your involvement in it. I would hope that you can also help expedite the formal delisting of Ghana from the Financial Action Task Force Agency's list the task force already delisted us, but I believe that there are processes within the European Union that have to be completed so that it becomes formalized. I'm hoping that we can, with your assistance, persuade President Michel and the others to get a move on and get us finally off the list. It's a matter of some concern to us, as you can imagine, especially now that since I believe June it was that the task force formally accepted that the reforms that we had undergone here were satisfactory and were therefore merited us being taken off the list. So there's a lot of work for us to do here. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Today's episode has been knowing the envoys who are in the country to take on their new post and facilitate diplomatic relations between their countries and ours. And I'm sure we've done justice to that, just so you know who is in the country and what they are doing, and bringing you up to speed to the latest in the diplomatic community. My name is Harriet Nati, and this has been another episode of Diplomatic Affairs. See you same time next week. Enjoy the rest of our programs.